Welcome to Quavertv. I'm Quavertv. Today we're talking about KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions and the track You Must Learn. This wasn't just a rap song, it was a classroom pressed into vinyl. When it came out in 1989 on Ghetto Music, the blueprint of hip-hop, KRS was already stepping into the role of the teacher. He wasn't just spitting rhymes, he was building a curriculum. Back then, I caught some of it. Names flew by, references I halfway understood. But now, listening decades later, I realize how much history was packed into every line. Africa under its original name. Kemet, inventors whose credit was stripped away. Writers like Alice Walker. Inventive black cultures that textbooks didn't bother to mention. It was all right there, hidden in plain sight, laid out over a beat. Let me break down some of what KRS was really teaching. When he drops the name Kemet, he's not just being scholarly. He's reclaiming something fundamental. Kemet is what ancient Egyptians actually called their own land. It means black land, named after the rich, fertile soil that made their civilization possible. But somewhere along the way, Western education decided to separate Egypt from the rest of Africa. They turned it into this mysterious, almost European thing. KRS saying Kemet was him saying, no, this is African excellence, this is black brilliance, and it's older than anything they're teaching you in school. Then there's Granville T. KRS name drops him, and most people have no idea who that is. Woods was a genius inventor in the late 1800s. He created the railway telegraph system that let moving trains communicate with each other and with stations. Before Woods, trains were basically flying blind. His invention prevented countless crashes and made modern rail travel possible. They called him the Black Edison. But honestly, Woods might have been more innovative than Edison himself. He held over 50 patents, but you won't find his picture in most American history books. Lewis Latimer is another name KRS throws out there. Latimer worked directly with Edison, but he solved the problem that made the light bulb actually practical. Edison's original bulbs burned out in hours. Latimer perfected the carbon filament that made bulbs last for months. Without Latimer, Edison's invention would have been useless. But when we tell the story of who invented the light bulb, somehow Latimer's name disappears. And then there's Sarah Breedlove, better known as Madam C.J. KRS mentions her, and he should, because her story is incredible. Born to former slaves in Louisiana in 1867, she started losing her hair in her 20s. Instead of accepting it, she developed her own hair care products. She built that into an empire, becoming the first female self-made millionaire in American history. She employed thousands of black women as sales agents, giving them economic independence when that was almost impossible to find. She used her wealth to fund black colleges and anti-lynching organizations, but most business history courses skipped right over her. I'm not into it for the prejudice, or to be locked in just one lane of blackness. For me, it's about the whitewashed history, the real history. KRS-One was peeling the paint off, showing what was underneath. And here's the genius part. I didn't even have to study every single line. Over the years, just living life, I picked up pieces here and there. Books, conversations, news, culture, and when I hear, you must learn now, almost every name, every reference, lands. That's the long game of hip-hop when it's at its highest power. A song that isn't just catchy for the moment, but one that teaches you for a lifetime. KRS-One planted seeds. Every name he dropped was a breadcrumb leading you toward real knowledge, real history that had been buried or forgotten. He wasn't just making music, he was making sure these stories survived. That's why this track is genius. It's proof that hip-hop is more than music. It's education, it's reclamation, it's history that refuses to stay buried. KRS wasn't just making a song, he was building a bridge between the streets and the library. sure the truth could travel. Until next time, try and enjoy the daylight.